In case you were wondering why I have two sketchbooks in front of me, it's because I am going to do a progress journal tour. So these are not completed. They're just to show my progress that I've made. And so they're only like 1/3 done in both of them. And then I'm also going to do a drawing in one of them of a girl that I sketched on my math homework, which I'll also be showing you that. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with this one. So forget this down here because I never follow those rules anymore. I had so many sketchbooks and I needed to use them up, so I'd write like days on them that I could do them and all that stuff, and I never followed out with it. I do have different things for my sketchbook. Like this is my free journal to experiment, and then this is my people/faces journal for like working on drawing faces and stuff. So that's what I have in here, and let's go ahead and get started into this free journal. Now be aware, some of it is like really bad drawings because I was just experimenting, or I thought they were good at the time, but then they weren't as I looked at them more, so keep that in mind. This was just an experimenting page. I got a new brush pen and new watercolors, and I was testing them out on this page, so that's what that is. Another thing, played tic-tac-toe. Yep. Okay, so first thing, I was trying to draw a body. Not very good at it. Okay, so there's that. But, it's still okay. But it's not like, oh my gosh. But it's okay. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But the one thing I don't like is the coloring that I did because I was using my new watercolors and I didn't have any skin tones, and so this looks really crappy, the skin. And then just all the coloring in general, except for the grass. The grass looks kind of like cartoony and cool and stuff. So that's that. Another thing, two things I can't draw of people, hands and feet. Don't know why, but I can't. It's horrible. So that's what I got. Another person drawing. This is actually really bad. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's actually okay. It's my first time using a brush pen, so that's why there's these little lines and all that all around it, but it's okay. It's an okay drawing. I remember at the time doing it, I was like so proud of it, and I didn't want to ruin it at all, so I didn't color it or anything because I didn't want to end up ruining it, because this paper doesn't work with Copics, and so I didn't want to end up, butchering it by using the watercolors again. Well, at least I thought it didn't work with Copics because of the paper type, but later on I discovered it will. Another drawing, I drew a realistic flower. I did this with no reference photo, which probably wasn't smart, but I was just on the go and I wanted to draw something really quickly, so I drew this flower. It kind of reminds me of the one from Beauty and the Beast, like the forbidden rose, like, you touched the forbidden rose. Yeah, that one. Another one. So this was like my cartoony drawing type thing, but I was actually using a real reference photo of a person, but I just made it look cartoony. That's basically what I did, which it turns out it looks a lot better than the one previously that I didn't use a reference photo for. So if you're wondering, reference photos always help. They always do, and it doesn't matter if you're drawing realistic or non-realistic or semi-realistic or cartoons or Fairly Odd Parents. I love that show, okay? Fairly Odd Parent drawings, yeah. All of them, good idea to use a reference photo. So I did this with Copics with colored pencil too. And as you can see, it looks kind of creepy on the back, but it's kind of funny too. Another thing I have this drawing of a girl, which I don't like the face at all. I was trying to draw a girl that was more curvy, so that's what I did, and I gave up on drawing the hands. I decided, nah, I'm not drawing the hands. I do like the hair, and again, the feet What is that? What is that? Again, the dress is okay. This part is okay, but like this part, I'm like, what the crap did I do that for? It's like, it's not even flowing or nothing. It's like a stick. So yeah, there's that. Oh yes, a random branch. I was gonna draw a tree branch and learn how to draw a tree branch, but then I gave up on it. So that's all. That is as far as I got, and I just left it there too. So let's move on. Okay, so this is a drawing of a person, and this is a realistic drawing, but again, I didn't want to color it because I didn't want to butcher it, and coloring takes a lot longer than sketching it. Like this, it took me like, what is it, like 20 minutes to sketch this, maybe 30 minutes to sketch it, and then I didn't want to go and butcher it again and do it with colors, and also coloring takes me like 2 hours or maybe 3 to color a face, just the skin part, not the eyes or nothing, just the face. So I didn't want to end up doing that. Another thing, I drew a tree. So I went to this thing called Week Without Walls, which is where we go someplace. So I decided to go to a farm with some other people. That's what I chose, to go to a farm. So I basically just sat down in this tree and drew this really interesting tree, and so I started to draw that, and it took me a long time to draw all like the leaves and stuff of the tree and stuff. So I drew that. I still never finished it, as you can see up here, but I still like it. I wish I had changed this part a little bit because it's just like a straight line going through, but that's what I got. This is just a random doodle my friend did to show me how she draws people, so that's not mine. This was just an experiment that I did of a flower and this like galaxy sort of thing. So I came up with this. Well, I thought I came up with it originally because I'm like, oh look, flower in a galaxy. And then I found something on Pinterest that somebody had done of a flower in a galaxy. So I'm like, well, not so much original, is it? So yeah, but the white kind of made it look like a balloon sort of flower, so I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, there's just that. Oh, and this is when, so I found this thing online that you can do in Elvish. So I freaked out, and I of course had to dedicate this entire thing to Elvish. Elvish writing. More Elvish writing here. This is just a really quick sketch of when we had to do this thing for school where we had to write a poem. And so we went to this one place and we just needed to get an image down really quickly of what it looked like. So I just sketched it in like 5 minutes. So that was that. Again, more stuff for the poem idea that we had to do for school. So I just wrote those down. And it's funny, I only wrote like one thing on here. So this is something that my brother did. I don't know what it is, but this was in Dwarvish, and then I don't know what this is. So there's that. Ooh, I left this page blank because the drawing before indented it, so I just left it blank. This is when I practiced doing noses, and I only ended up coloring one, but I found all these different reference photos, and I just copied them and trying to do them and stuff like that, so there's that. Oh, and this is a drawing that I actually have up on my channel. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. I do sound a little bit crazy in that video because it was late at night and I was feeling sick, so... But anyways, I introduced a lot of stuff. I think I talked about myself in that photo. Yes, it's a photo if you're wondering. I mean video. And yeah, so you should just go check it out. I did this with watercolor and I think it looks pretty. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore. I just speak a whole bunch of nonsense these days. And then that's it. The rest is to be filled. Next one, I have this people/face drawing journal. So, This is so bad. But this is the first drawing I ever did of a person, so it's really, really crappy. I don't know who I got this photo from, but I am sorry. I think it might have been me. No, I drew it just randomly, so I didn't have a reference photo for it, which explains why it's so bad. So there's that. And this is a cartoon girl that I drew. This is by far my most favorite cartoon drawing I have ever done in my entire life, and I love it so much. I did this when I went back to the States, and I felt so proud of myself. I just got these art supplies, so I didn't really know how to use them that much, and I used them, and it was really cool, and I loved it, and it's just the best drawing of a cartoon that I've ever done. So I'm proud of myself for doing that. The next one I could care less about. And then it gets progressively worse as the head gets bigger. So yeah, I did this one on the plane, and the head is way too big. I don't know, it might be the hair that makes the head look way too big or something. The arm looks stick thin. I don't know what this is. But I used to always draw arms way too big, and it looked like they were buff, like really ripped. And so I'm like, that looks a little weird. So now I have this fear of drawing the arms too big, so now I draw them all too small. So yeah, there's that. This was a layout that I had for a duct tape project. There's that. This is just a random page where I put white on it for some reason. Don't know why. Ooh, this was when I was, I don't know where I was, but I drew the TARDIS from memory. So that's why it looks a little bit weird, if you're wondering, is because I drew it by memory, and so it's very bad. But yes, I kind of like it, and I'm not going to show you the next one because it was a fail, and it looks horrendous, so skipping that one. The next one, oh yeah, I also drew this in the same place, and I love it. All I had was like my brush pen. I didn't bring a pencil with me, so this is all freehand without having any lines before that, along with the TARDIS. So this was all freehand, and then I just had some glitter pens, so that's what I did. Another one, I did this also freehand, and I did it, I don't remember where. Yeah, I was waiting for the bus, that's what I was. And so I did this, and I had like my mom hold all my pencils while I drew it, and so people thought I was weird, but whatever. And if you don't get this like phrasing, then you're not a Whovian. So if you don't know a Whovian, it's a person who loves Doctor Who. So that's what that is. This is another drawing of a girl that I did. Again, the next two get progressively worse as you go with this one. And then you have this one. I don't even know what this is. It's so bad. Ugh. It's horrible. The eyes look really bad. And what is this? What is this? I swear I'm getting progressively worse at this. That's me. Progressively worse. And then this one is a little bit better than the last one, but still really bad. And I feel really bad. Don't look at it. It's horrible. But then I do like this one. So I started off with a sketch, and I'm like, it's okay, but I don't really know. Maybe I'll just leave it at that. And I was like, well, maybe I want to try shading it. So I started shading it. I didn't use a reference photo to shade it because I didn't think it was that good. So then I started to shade it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is turning out really nice. And so I was like, yes, finally, the odds are back in my favor. So yes, I started doing it. I only got that far because that took me like 2 hours right there just to do that. So I was like, and now it's been like 2 weeks and I haven't done the rest of it because